Alright, this here is about the N words. There's two of them. And this is not for any Americans, Americans, and Americans. Okay? This is for all people outside of all the people who are not part of the United Slaves of America. So if you're from another country and you're looking at this that fucking weird retarded land, United States, and especially if you're interested in possibly moving here, right, or even visiting, you might want to reevaluate your you might really seriously want to reevaluate. There's nothing here. There's nothing in United States except for a bunch of, literally just nothing here. It's shit. But hey, you don't. Of course, if you have money and stuff like that, then of course you could go to. I mean, they have nice beaches, right? Right, but I don't know. I don't know why anybody would fucking come here. But anyways, there's a big thing. There's a big, huge difference between the two N words, right? And you may have heard this the reference of an N word, and I am what they would, and so we're gonna use Webster's dictionary, right? Who literally has the word up and is allowed to have the word. However, if we say it, then we're not allowed to say it. Because why? Because we are
nigger.
Yeah, we are there. So there is an N word, ers with the er at the end, and then there is the N word, with the a at the end, right? It's cool to be a
Nigga.
right? But this
Nigger.
is not cool, right? And this would be one of our
Nigger.
ers, right? That is a. Wait a minute. This here is a
nigger,
right? And these are what they call themselves a
nigga,
right? And this is verifiable because if you read this across here, right? Right? And then this dude, he calls himself the right? And then you got this, I'll just use N-worda. So this guy, he's an N-worda. All these guys are N-wordas. And this is an N-worda. Right? And he prided himself on being an N-worda. They all pride themselves. And N-wordas get, like, this guy has 175 million views. Now, he is probably making a fucking fortune. A fortune, man. A fortune. I would say he's making millions of dollars, right? And he is a N-word, okay? Gotta get this shit straight, people, okay? Because this is very important. There's a whole society that fucking bases it's the United States, the United Slaves of America. That whole society, it's a social construct that has literally been created within the last, I don't know, since, like the 70s and the 80s. I mean, the 80s really popped off, right? With, okay, so when I was a kid, right, this group showed up out of nowhere, right? let's see. When did they? I'd say about 1987. 1987. Yeah, from 87 to 91. Okay. So I was about, I don't know, 13 years old or so, right? And at school, this started showing up, right? And when I go to school dances and shit, this was starting to rock. And this was about the time that the movie Colors with Ice-T. The movie. 1988. Right? And so, 1988, I'm about 13 years old. And I remember me and some friends, we went to this movie and watched it. And we never even knew that any of this kind of like, we never heard or knew anything like this was going on. The Bloods and the Crips. And that there was such violence going on in L.A. and shit like that. Never even heard of it, right, at that age. However, I guess apparently there was, and it was a really good movie actually. If you ever have a chance and an opportunity, you will see where all of this shit all kind of started and stemmed from. Right? And so I come from a whole line of niggers, right? And what I mean by that is my grandmother had 13 children, right? And I don't know what happened to my grandfather, but he disappeared. I don't know what happened. Still to this day, I do not know what happened, and none of his offspring. Most of them are all dead now, and I don't know anything about anything. However, get back to the point. She had 13 children. And they took over, and she came from a family that had put her into a Catholic school. She was Roman Catholic, a Roman Catholic private school when she was growing up, and she had 13 children, and my grandfather disappeared. I don't know what happened, and she was pretty much abandoned by her whole family, I guess, ditched her because my dad, they took over an abandoned schoolhouse, right? So my dad lived and grew up like a
nigger,
worse than most of the black people at that time, right? So he would have been he was born in about 50, so 1963. He would have been 10 years old, and by then there was black people were already had already posted that they were already well established as an up and coming the second class that the most wealthiest second class of United States in like 1950s. Right? That you can find here at, let's see, where are we? It's called How to Sell the Black Man. The secret to selling the Negro, 1954. Yeah, you can watch that. And there was well, let's go real quick. It was well established that here is your average Negro family at 1954. So this would be a year after my dad was born, and here he lived in a rundown, abandoned schoolhouse, and these Negroes at the time were living like this. Um, yeah, and my dad's family never had anything even remotely close to that. Okay, and so they were literally nothing more than
nigger,
ers, right? And so that my grandmother, the one with the 13 children, at 19 in 19 whenever those colors came out, yeah, this word was coming. It was getting very predominant. The word, right? And I never experienced it. I remember hearing it twice in my life, actually, okay, as a kid. And so, in both times, whenever it was said, right, it was at like a party. So like a big party, a big gathering of a bunch of people, and everybody was drinking, right? And I'm maybe like 10 years old, 9 years old, or something. And this one guy, Grant, I remember him specifically, and he goes and says, and he said a joke. So there is an N word and a blah blah blah, and as soon as he said it, my dad looked over at him and gave him that shh, right, and like looked over, like there's the kids are here, right? And he's like, oh, sorry, yeah, he didn't realize, right? So that's one time that I heard the word, right? And then another time at a roughly about the same thing. It was like a family reunion. Everybody was drunk, and my one uncle started saying it, and then they were told to leave. Like they rounded us, the kids, up, right? Because people were starting to get a little, the booze was flowing, and it was time for the kids to go and find a new place, so the adults could be adults. Okay, so the point of this is that my grandmother came to visit, and I was a grandma's boy, right? Both grandmothers, and this grandmother, the father or the mother of my father, who is a
nigger,
right. I asked her because we had a good relationship, and I actually was afraid to ask my
nigger,
dad, right? And I asked her, hey, grandma, what is a? You get an N word,
nigger,
and she said, oh, it's a person of very low class and low education, and I said, so it's black people, right? So black people, and she's like, no, it doesn't matter the color, right? And so, yeah, it doesn't matter the color. It's just a reference in low class, low education people. And I was like, huh. But, and so I walked away with that, like thinking, huh. So then why is it only black people that it's referred to? Anyways, this is a fucking fact, okay? And let me get the first time I experienced actual racism was actually black girls that wanted to kick my ass, right? So I had moved into a new location. I moved into Canada, right? And because of where I'm from, because I'm because I was from the United States, they had automatically assumed that I was racist. Right? And so I'm in like 8th grade, right? And the facts are that I was so fucking small, and I was so, like, my genetics, I was a little skinny ass white kid, right? And when I showed up in this school, there was literally fucking black dudes that were slam dunking fucking basketballs, right? And even to this day, I can't even, right? And they were also doing fucking 360s and slam dunking fucking basketballs when I was in 9th grade. Okay. So yeah, and when they were doing that, right? I was among, like, so it was in the gymnasium, and where like all the bleachers were completely packed, and there was black people everywhere. And as soon as they did that, the whole fucking place went fucking ape shit crazy, right? And fucking woo 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 woo, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I was literally afraid, right? Like literally, like, holy fuck, like I've never seen such a thing. I came from a small little white town, small little town, and yeah, but none of them, they were all decent to me, except for. So now I get to back to, so I go out and we have to run the track, and I'm running the track, and there are these black girls that are literally doing circles around me. They literally have ran all the way around the track and just fucking passed me, right? Yeah, so all this inferiority bullshit and all that, I don't know what the fuck you people are talking about, because I know for a fact that I come from a family of
niggers.
Right. Okay. But, however, if you look at the definition according to the masters here, right, they will literally say, right, that is used as an insulting and contemptuous term for a black person. But black person, you mean an African, right? There is no such thing as a fucking black person. But, hey, it's Webster, so obviously they know every fucking thing. Right? Used as an insulting and contemptuous term for a member of any dark-skinned race. For some reason, they have a distinct problem saying and identifying the word African, when I'm pretty certain that most of all of the dark black skin race is of African origin. I'm pretty certain. So anyways, now it's often offensive. A member of a class or a group of people who are systematically subjected to discrimination and unfair treatment, because Lord knows that this N-worder there, he was born with a silver spoon straight up his fucking ass, right? He has the white privilege that speaking of white privilege, do you fucking people even know where that comes from? That term? Oh my. The term white privilege originates from this fucking cunt right here. And guess what? She's got Harvard. This bitch, born in 1934, right, with a fucking Harvard degree. How privileged does one have to be to get a Harvard degree? Oh, and then University College London. How privileged does one have to be? This N-worder, right? This N-worder can't even have the fucking piece of shit that did this, can't even have him arrested. Can't even press charges. Right? And this fucking cunt, this ugly twat, she is Wellesley Center for Women. And so yeah, she coined that phrase, and she did a unpacking the invisible knapsack of white privilege is an essay that she wrote, right? And apparently, I have a knapsack. Apparently, it's invisible. That's for sure. But it's invisible. But I do have it. I just don't know the how to exactly fucking open it or find it. It's so invisible that I don't know where the fuck it is or have it. You know, and I would gladly pull it out and use it all fucking day with absolutely no fucking shame in my game. So where is this? There was a list of shit that this fucking that my white privilege gives me. Maybe it's here. It's an invisible system at work, and it's supposed to be working for me. It's an invisible package of unearned assets. I haven't earned a fucking thing. And that is actually a fact. No matter what I've done all of my life, I haven't earned shit. Not even the fucking a drop of fucking respect. That's a fucking fact. And this isn't poor me fucking shit, because I really don't fucking. I'm not looking for sympathy. You know, like my man said, you want my sympathy? Look in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. That's where you'll find my sympathy. This is the only reason I'm even saying any of this shit is because you fucking ignorant fucking twats out there look so fucking stupid with all of your fucking nonsense, right? And so this is more of a throw it in your fucking face about how fucking ignorant and stupid you are, right? And where the fuck I read it before, right? So yeah, here it is. She described white privilege as an invisible, weightless knapsack of assurances, tools, maps, guides, code books, passports, visas. I do not have a fucking passport. You don't even want to hear my passport story. I had black people fucking refuse to even send the passport application in, right? And the passport was fucking stolen from me by the cops, right? Because they fucking arrested me because I walked across the fucking street in Las Vegas at around midnight. I walked across the street in Las Vegas on Fremont, and I just got into town, right? And I walked across, and all these, and there was like about 6 fucking white cops standing around in a circle jerk. And because business was so fucking slow, I guess they had to start busting my balls because I walked when the sign said don't walk. So they threw me in jail for jaywalking, and I spent about 24 hours in that motherfucker. And they wanted to keep me in until Monday morning. So they wanted to keep me in there all weekend so I could go in front of the judge on Monday morning, right? And then because I just got there, and I had a whole sea bag worth of all my fucking clothes because I was going out on a little like 2-3 month venture of all across the West Coast, starting up at Seattle and working my way down to Mexico, to at least San Diego. I didn't know exactly but I did know that I was taking that fucking venture. And so I took a shit ton of stuff, a whole sea bag worth of shit. And visas. So I have an invisible, weightless knapsack of insurances. I don't know where the fuck that is. I can't get insurance. I can't even get insurance. That's a fucking fact. Tools. I do have tools. Yeah, I do have tools. I do have some tools that I purchased fucking with my own money, right? I worked for that fucking money to purchase it, right? And anybody else can do the exact same thing. Maps, yeah, I got some maps. We all can access Google Maps. Guides, no, I don't have any guides at all. Code books, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about there, you fucking whore. Passports, nope. And so, yeah. Oh, so I go to get my passport, and the bitch declines me because I asked her because she was busting my balls about something as stupid as a zip code, in which is a federal fucking trademarks. All zip codes are federal trademarks, right? And I don't have direct authorization, so I'm not going to use it. And she's like, well, how are they gonna find it? How are they gonna? Well, I got the whole fucking address there, and you're the United States Postal Service. Yeah, I'm pretty certain. And then she kept fucking busting my balls, this black chick, right? Monique, this bitch. And then I said, hey, because I've had a fucking passport for 30 fucking years, an endless passport, non-stop fucking passport for 30 fucking years, and the only reason I'm even re-upping is because they stole all of my shit. They confiscated everything because I fucking walked across the fucking street and jaywalked, and now they confiscated all my shit. And instead of those fucking cunts taking that sea bag and just throwing it in, they had to go through that sea bag and itemize every goddamn fucking little thing, right? 3 pairs of socks, 4 pairs of underwear, 1 toothbrush, 1 thing of toothpaste, a bar of soap. They had to itemize. Some fucking monkey got paid to go through and rummage through all of my shit, right? And then all of a sudden, the passport fucking, they just lost the passport. And there's a long story to go with this. And I think that they were going to try to set me up with something. I'm pretty positive. And it's a fucking nightmare is what the fuck it is. But it is all facts and it's all truth. And I can't even fucking believe it myself. Right? However, it is. So, a compass, you got a compass? Yeah, anybody can fucking have a compass. Anybody can have fucking clothes. Right? Emergency gear, yeah, anybody can have fucking a first aid kit. And blank checks. Ooh, that's a good one. Blank checks. Yeah, I got everybody, if you open up a checking account, you get checks that all are blank. Yes. See, so everything this fucking cunt said is actual truth. Yeah. Yep. And there's hey, forget anything of what any of my, if my ancestors had done anything, if they had fucking fought to do anything, if they tried to fucking hand down a dynasty or do anything, forget all of that, right? So, in other words, shit all over your ancestors is what you fucking scumbags are talking about. This bitch, unfucking real. This bitch, Harvard fucking degree, and she has the fucking audacity to fucking undermine her whole fucking, her whole ancestry. This bitch. Anyways, so back to this. These wit attitudes. So yeah, they were predominant, and here's a fact too, that I bought all of the, I bought their albums, I bought all this stuff that had this N-word in it, just like these people. This has 14 million views. So there's a lot of people that like this, that dude. 804 million views. This guy has more money than fucking, this guy all by himself has more money than all of my family all put together. All of them. And they all, as much as they worked for the last 50 years. Take it all and put it together, and this guy has more than all of them. What the, right? And all because he just fucking busts some rhymes and shit, right? But at the same time, now I gotta be careful because I can't call him a
Nigga.
no, not a
Nigga.
no, because a
Nigga.
is used mainly among African Americans. This is the first time they said African, huh? Check that out. But also among other minorities and ethnicities. Right? But the white people are gonna be are well, as according to Biden, when he was talking to one of his fathers of when a Jesuit, he was stating that in a couple, in a few more years, the white people are going to be the minorities of the of America. But whenever they say
Nigga.
and they're talking in a neutral or familiar way and as a friendly term of address. Right? It is also common in rap music, however,
Nigga.
is taken to be extremely offensive when used by outsiders. Many people consider this word to be equally as offensive as
nigger,
so the word N-worder and N-worda are pronounced alike in certain dialects, and so has been claimed that they are one and the same word. Of course, whenever they want to, whenever whoever, and where did I see that? There was one place that said the origin of that word was in like the 1800s. I think it was on Webster's. So use of the N-worder is a infamous word in current English. So much so that when people are called upon to discuss it, they more often than not refer to it euphemistically as the N-word, which is saying that you're fucking children, you're fucking disgusting, you're fucking shit. We can't discuss. I can't discuss the word. I can't the N word. So I can't even call myself. This N-worder can't even call himself an N-word or an N-word. Like he's not even that fucking cool. The words whoever you yeah. Who I don't know who designed this clusterfuck. Okay, here's what I was looking for. The word was first included in fucking Merriam-Webster's dictionary in 1864. Wow. 1864. That word. That word has been around since that long, and only until now, and only now, as of recently, you fucking cunts can't even say the word when referring to it. Like the N-word. What N-word? What exactly? The night word? It's just fucking stupid. At which time it was defined as a synonym of a Negro. An ignorant person. We do not know of such a definition in any earlier dictionary. Okay. Sometimes offensive, used by black people to refer to themselves or to another black person in a positive way. I mean, who the fuck even does that? And this is all a conspiracy. This is all a fucking conspiracy. And what I've heard is first known use of N-word is 1848. Hmm. So that is about 20 years, 48 and 64. So N-worda is older than N-word-er. So in other words, the white people were calling the black people N-word-us, right? 16 years before they started calling them N-word-ers, and now white people can't even call themselves an N-word-er or an N-word-uh. And black people refer to themselves in the oldest way that the fucking white people referred to themselves back when there was slavery. I mean, yeah, that's and hence I'm speaking like fuck all you Americans. You're fucking cunts. I fucking can't stand you fucking scumbags. I'm talking to all the good people outside of United States. I'm talking to all you. That, in a nutshell, that is just one example of how fucked up the minds, the hearts, and the fucking souls of the fucking of American people are. The American, and we're all talking all levels. We're talking all the way from the Americans down to the Americans, down all the way down to the Americans. That's how fucked up the people are. So, you know, you might want to reevaluate your stance. If you're coming over here just to take from the place, like so many others from down south and shit, right? All of the smart people, right? They only come up here. Most of all these people, they come up here from down south in Latin American countries, South America and shit. They come up here so they can fucking get money and send it all back to the people because they fucking care about their people, right? And they love their people and they love their country. They don't fucking give a shit about this fucking place, and I don't blame them. And so now if you're coming here for that, well then yeah, have at it, right? However, just make sure you don't get too, the United States at large and the Americans and Americans. It's through movies, really. It's through their entertainment system, their medias and all that shit. They are fucking geniuses at fucking your mind up and having you believe shit that isn't fucking true, right? And they're masters of fucking deception. The art of deception, they got that going on for them. So be very fucking careful. Be very careful. And this was just one little example of of how fucked up this fucking piece of shit fucking monkeys are. They're all fucking retarded. And there is so much, there is a ton of hate, right? And it's not in the way in which you guys, it's always projected. There's a ton of animosity. There's a ton of resentment. And the reason, and it doesn't go back to the old, back in the day it wasn't like that. And here's another example. And see, this is a fine example. These people, yeah. And what had happened, if you watch this thing, what had happened is they were targeted. So the secret of selling the Negro, there was a group of people in the corporate sector that started probing the minds of the Negro in their wants and their desires, right? Just like they're doing now. That's the art of the deception factor. These are huge corporations that spend billions and billions of dollars fucking with the minds, right? It's called social engineering, is what they're at. And it is all one big social construct. Right? So they like to fucking tinker with the fucking emotions of people, tinker with the egos, right, and play nothing but games and shit. And through those games, it's called order out of chaos, right? The more you can have everybody fucked up in all these belief systems, right? So you have 20 different belief systems, right? All fucking running and racing for the best and the most for themselves, right? Because they all believe that everybody else is after them, right? So if you were to go and walk up to 90, a huge percentage of the African American population and ask them if they feel very comfortable, they don't, and they shouldn't, because there is some there's people targeting them, and those people are the people in the state, the sovereign citizens, the cops. Okay? There's a so here's another example that I've posted. They don't sell husbands in the market. And this is 1934, right? And these Negroes were seemed well inside of this. This was a travel log, right, glorifying Charleston, South Carolina, in 1934, right? So this would be something that they're trying to show everybody to bring people into Charleston, South Carolina, and they used the Negro. Now, if there's such racism, then why the fuck are they using this?
Where there goes on a pleasant and placid life, such as the casual stranger seldom sees. And everywhere, of course, the Negroes. And everywhere you have Negroes, you'll have music.
However, we've gone from there to this, right? In this colors. Right. So now we're going to this, and this is this is why they're all fucking. Look, there's all pretty much primarily they're being targeted. By the state. And there's a ton of white people that are in that business, right? There's a bunch of blacks, but there's a ton of white people. And here's another example. This is 1917. Responsibility without authority is slave you, or you need. And right here. Here, this is a black people's march, and they're pissed off about. I don't know exactly what the fuck they're pissed off about, but it says we own 250,000 farms with, that would be 20 million acres of land worth. We got $500 million. Now you have to remember and realize that when they're talking about money at this time, they're talking about money that was backed 100% by gold. It had real, true value. You nowadays, right? A black person can be like, I got $500 million, and the facts are that if it's all liquid, like if we're talking 500, no, you don't. That's paper money. That's fiat currency. It's backed by nothing. It's garbage. It's fucking worthless shit paper. It's backed by an illusion that someday there's a promise that someday they will pay it, and that's why it's called a bill, a dollar bill, right? So, yeah, and I saw this one guy, right, and I could go on and fucking on forever with this shit. It's all so fucking. It's all such elementary fucking deception. It's so fucking simple, and it's just a matter of people pulling their head out of their fucking ass. And but they're not going to. And that being said, they're going to fucking fight each other. They possibly kill each other. This shit's just gonna keep going on and on because of the stupidity. And one last thing. So where was this? Oh, this is a good. So this guy, Michael Wood, is an ex-Baltimore cop, and watch this. And he talks about. Let's see what he looks like. This guy. He talks about he literally was forced, and this is why he quit, because just like all of us, none of us know shit until you get your boots on and climb down into the trenches. Okay? And then you're like, and here's the fucked up part. This only has 800 or 8,200. I wonder, there's got to be another one here that's got more. So Slate has 2 million views. Explains why the department targets black men. Why was this never on actual Joe Rogan? I wonder why that was never on the actual Joe Rogan channel. So he's got 25,000 views here. And that's why everybody's so fucking stupid. Nobody, what, did they pull it down? Like, Joe Rogan has, let's see, just Robert Downey Jr. comes on, he's got 13 million views here. 18 million views for Tyson. 14 million for Jordan Peterson. Right? So where is it? Why was it not in? Why was it never posted to Joe Rogan's actual podcast? Because this only has 366 views, 659 views. This is shit. That's fucking nothing. And like altogether, it's only had like 20,000 fucking views, except for this one. And I never actually watched this one, but I would assume that it's about the same. And anyways, he talks about how the fucking and this isn't just Baltimore. They're using a fucking name, but this is all across the country. So they're targeting them, and what's going on is they're targeting these fucking black people, and it's primarily black dudes, right? Because black dudes are pretty much fucking badasses, right? Like, they're not going to put up with much shit. They're going to fucking do whatever the fuck they want, and they're not really hurting anybody. So let's say they're out fucking hustling drugs. Hey, drugs should be legal, period. Okay? That should be nothing fucking cops are involved in. Okay? Because if you had any rights, then you would have a right to fucking kill yourself or do whatever you want. And here's another aspect. Is that I've watched all kinds of YouTube videos where people will go into a drug-ridden place and talk to heroin addicts and shit. Not a single one of these fucking people decided to when they got there, they're like, oh, I gotta do this now. Not a single one of them walked into a drug-ridden fucking place and there's drugs everywhere and decided to do drugs for themselves, right? When they had complete access to it. So it's just fucking childishness, and they're targeting black people because they're when they have to go into the white neighborhoods, they have to fucking mind their fucking P's and Q's more. When they walk into the black neighborhoods, they can start fucking playing all their games and nobody will help them, will help the black people. Yeah? And most likely it's a family thing in general, right? So the white people are in more predominant positions, yes. Like there are more white judges, there are more white cops, and these are predominant sovereign citizen positions, right? Yeah, so anyways, I'm done.